we've decided to take on the Great British Winter, and so we've headed up north. This week we'll be driving the beautiful Northumberland 250, taking in the best of this county's landscapes from the snow-capped hills to the pristine beaches. We wind our way through this land rich in history. Last year we took on the Wild Atlantic Way, the NC 500 and the Kistrix Vane. Now it's time to see how England's greatest road trip compares. We only had some peace and quiet to enjoy it with. Oh, that's cold. What an incredible place. That was an incredibly cold one.
Good morning everybody from a very chilly Northumberland. Woohoo! It's snowy! It was absolutely freezing last night. We slept under our sleeping bags and the duvet, electric blankets on, heater on. Feels good to be back in the van. If you missed last week's episode, we slept in a tent for 2 nights and it was a little bit mad. It was actually pretty horrible. So yeah, really grateful to be back in the van.
Welcome to the north of England. We have driven very far up north since our last video, and winter means something quite different up here. It is cold, there's snow.
It's absolutely freezing.
It's proper winter.
But it's really beautiful. Everything looks like it's dusted in some beautiful icing sugar. And I really can't wait to explore this part of England that we've both never been to.
We are right on the border. We camped here last night, just in this little lay-by.
We're actually currently in no man's land between Northumberland and County Durham.
So this road trip's probably going to take about 4 days. It's 250 miles. Let's get going. Handbrake. We're going slow and steady today because the roads are pretty icy. It is so beautiful though with the snow in the valleys, and we're going through these little picture postcard villages. It's really beautiful. Oh, something's crashed around in the back.
Do I look relaxed? This is fine. Just driving along in the snow. No biggie. Just driving my big Ford Transit van.
We have parked here in Steel Rig car park, and it's £3 to stay for 4 hours, but the machine's not working, so it's free today. And this is our first stop on our Land 250. Already this road trip is proving so beautiful. We've been driving through such amazing landscapes with the snow just adding to it, and now we're arriving at Hadrian's Wall, and I'm sure everyone knows about Hadrian's Wall. Built by the Romans about 2,000 years ago. It would originally have been about 5 meters tall, and it would have marked the end of the Roman Empire. It's crazy to think that the empire on the other side of this wall, their hub was Rome in Italy. It's so hard to imagine Roman soldiers here 2,000 years ago building this wall. It must have been so unlike where they'd come from. And the amount of work to build it up and over this landscape, incredible. Standing up here and looking out north over the wall, you can really see where George R.R. Martin got his inspiration for the ice wall in Game of Thrones.
Common misconception is that it's the border between Scotland and England. No, my friend, it's not. But we are very close to Scotland. we are at the famous Sycamore Gap. It's become famous because it was in, I think, Robin Hood.
As the Romans introduced the sycamore, I think it's kind of fitting that it's a sycamore tree. So Sycamore Gap is a beautiful little spot, but it is one of those Instagram places where people go just to get a picture, and in some ways I feel like it detracts from the history of Hadrian's Wall. But it's a brilliant spot to head to because the walk that takes you there is all the way along the wall.
We have driven on about 5 minutes down the road and we're actually joining back up with a part of Hadrian's Wall. We've come to discover one of the Roman forts that was built along this wall.
We've come to a place called Corbra, which is one of 16 large forts that were built on Hadrian's Wall. And this one would have housed about 500 soldiers. What's left of it is a big earth embankment in a big rectangle, but just outside where the people would have lived, there are the remains of a temple, and in this temple they would have been worshipping Roman gods here in Northumberland.
Wow, the place is completely frozen.
Wow, it's completely frozen. And this originally would have been underground.
This Temple of Mithras required the participants to go through lots of different physical and mental ordeals, usually with the threat or the real risk of peril and doom.
I skating on the temple. I skating on the temple. I skating on the temple.
Snowing! We're full of sausage and we are ready to get out in the snow. It's coming down pretty heavy now. We are in Bellingham and we are off to find a waterfall.
We have to cross 6 bridges to get to this waterfall. This walk is so beautiful. It's like we're walking through this beautiful magical winter wonderland. Everything's just white, there's icicles in the river's frozen. Final bridge! Do you reckon if one of them fell right now, it would like cut my throat open?
Well, maybe if you do that. Oh yeah, look above you.
Yeah, I know. That one looks pretty deadly, doesn't it? Fresh icicle water.
Hersham Waterfall, the finale of the walk. Apparently it's 30 feet. It's been a pretty spectacular walk to get here.
What a beautiful walk this has been, and to top it off, it ends with the waterfall.
Yeah.
Incredible, so beautiful.
It'd be nice without it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been a really nice walk without it, but as it is perfect. And this is such a winter wonderland with an icy forest.
In the low winter sun, it is stunning.
So far, I've got to say, Northumberland in winter is an amazing time to come. The sun is now setting and we've come into Kielder Forest. We've been driving along Kielder Water, which is a big reservoir here in the forest, and the Forestry Commission here are running a scheme where they're allowing motorhomes and caravans to stay here and park for £10 a night. And actually we are currently in the middle of a dark sky park, so there's very little light pollution here and the stars should be incredible. It's a really clear night sky now, so we're hopefully going to get some amazing stars tonight.
Yeah, there's someone next to us setting up a telescope, so that's pretty cool. Tonight, we're making pad thai. Dinner is ready. This is pad thai. And a sprinkling of coriander, baby. We want to say thank you to Surfshark for not only providing us with the best VPN out there, but also for supporting our channel this past year and for sponsoring today's video. Don't click off, just give me 50 seconds to convince you. The majority of us spend a lot of our time surfing the internet on multiple devices, and getting a VPN can be a fantastic way of improving your online experience. A VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. It encrypts all of the information sent from our phones and our computers to the internet, so no one can steal our sensitive information. A VPN doesn't just keep you protected online, it can also be used to unlock content that isn't available in your area. It really is so easy to change the virtual location of your device, and then you can access completely new content libraries.
Look, US, us. Me and you.
So if you don't have a VPN yet, then we do highly recommend Surfshark. It is the only VPN out there to allow you to have just one account, and you can use that on unlimited devices. Sign up for Surfshark today using the link in our description, or search surfshark.deals/transit and use our code TRANSIT to get 83% off and an extra 3 months for free. And don't forget there's a 30-day money back guarantee, so if you don't like it, then there's no risk in just giving it a go. Enjoy! Well, that was so nice. The guy who was cleaning the toilets saw that I was looking for water, but I couldn't fit my bottle under any of the taps. But he let me come into his cleaning cupboard and filled up my water with some nice fresh water.
There is a forest road here which drives through the forest, and we were hoping to do that, but it looks like it's closed, I think because of the snow, so that's a shame. As we can't drive on the forest road, we've decided to enjoy Kielder Forest on foot. We've bought our ticket and we've had to scrape a little hole in the ice so you can see the ticket while we're away.
I think we've lucked out with the weather here on this Northumberland 250. It's beautiful blue skies. We had an amazing clear night last night looking at those stars, and everything just looks so pretty in the snow.
The Northumberland 250 actually leaves Northumberland at 2 different points, and this is one of them. This is the Scottish border, and we're crossing into Scotland. We're doing a little loop, and then we'll be crossing back into Northumberland again later on today.
We're here in the beautiful village of Ford. It looks like it's part of a movie set or something. Like we're going back in time. It's got beautiful buildings, and there's a sweet little picturesque post office that we're going to get a coffee in. But it's really lovely. It does feel like we're back in time. This village feels like it's just hasn't changed in hundreds of years. It's really sweet.
We've driven down the road and we've walked for about a mile out across these fields because we are heading to a stone circle. This is Doddo Stone Circle. Apparently it's 4,000 years old.
They look a little bit like hands coming out of the ground.
Yeah,
like fist pumping.
The way they've like eroded.
These stones are really impressive. Some of them are taller than me.
Whenever I visit stone circles, I always think back to the people who put them there. We're talking 4,000 years ago. And this landscape, from here you can see so far, and the horizon is just so far away. It feels like a very big sky.
Yeah, you can see why they chose to put them here.
The light at the moment is just so nice. The winter sun is just so low in the sky all the time, and you get this lovely golden coloured light here. We are now standing on Twizel Bridge, and this is a very old bridge. It's built in 1511, and this is one of the finest medieval bridges in the UK apparently. And this would have actually been the bridge that the Scottish army would have crossed on their way to the Battle of Flodden. According to the sign, this is Lindisfarne Nature Reserve, and Lindisfarne is where the Vikings first landed when they arrived into Britain. So it was on these sand dunes. We're actually going to go to the island tomorrow where the Vikings landed and raided when they first arrived. But this is the landscape they would have arrived. Oh wow!
It's amazing.
It's incredible! What amazing beach! Such a long beach.
Wow! It's beautiful. Oh, we are so lucky. We've come here at golden hour and everything's looking sun-kissed. The sea looks gorgeous. There's a huge beach, so lovely to go on a walk along the beach and stretch your legs.
So nice being here in the last light of the day, arriving onto the coast.
Well, Tom, I think this is a fantastic place to sleep for the night. Flat, it's free, and it's by the sea. We've got a very bad situation where the door won't shut. The latch is stuck and it won't actually let the sliding door fully close. Oh, well done, Thomas, you legend.
It is chilly this morning, but we've had to get up and get going because we have a time pressure this morning. We're off to Holy Island, and to get there is a causeway, which means we have to time it with the low tide.
Wow, what a beautiful morning. I couldn't believe it when I opened the doors to see those beautiful colours in the sky. And that's the bonus of doing this road trip in the winter, is you get to see these sunrises at a normal hour, not at such an ungodly hour that's in the summer. Well, that was so beautiful. It's just incredible, this road trip. I'm really loving it. It's so varied. Like, we've had those beautiful dark skies and then the moorlands, borderlands, and now we're at the coast.
We're now on Holy Island, which is a tidal island. At high tide, it's completely cut off. And we're walking out of the car park, and there's a proper little village. There's actually people who live here all the time. It must be a bit complicated with things like organising a GP appointment and stuff. You have to time it with the tides.
Yeah.
And like getting your post, I imagine it arrives at a different time each day depending on when the
and
the
like,
tide
what
time.
if you need to go to work and stuff?
Yeah.
So you just have to tell your work, I've got to go by the tide times.
Yeah.
Now, there's something about island life that's really appealing to me. I can see myself one day living on an island. It would be quite isolating and remote, but there's something quite nice about having everything there, like on this island, and no more.
You can see where the fishermen have used their old boats and turned them into sheds. They've cut them in half, flipped them upside down, and they've turned them into sheds for their fishing gear.
That's so cool.
Really cool.
I do feel, out of everywhere we've been so far on this road trip, this is the most peaceful spot, and we have just got really lucky with beautiful sunshine weather, but it does feel a bit like you're quite far away from normal busy life.
We've taken a short walk along the waterfront here towards the castle, and the castle looked very far away and big, like a big Disney castle. As you approach, suddenly it looks really small.
So Lindisfarne Castle, it used to be a fort, but now it's actually a holiday home. Apparently the founder of the Country Life magazine came here, fell in love with it, and has converted it into a beautiful holiday home. Pretty fancy.
In the distance behind me, you can see Holy Island, where we've just been, and we've driven a short way down the coast to Bamburgh Castle.
There's loads of people surfing. There's surf schools, there's people with their boards pulling up. The waves look quite small but fun. I wish we had a board, to be honest, and a wetsuit. That'd be well fun. But we are planning on getting in the water. It's looking actually really inviting, but cold. It's quite unusual. All across these rocks here is just ice, and I don't think I've ever seen ice on a beach. It's really strange to see, and it's not the most inviting thing to see when we're about to go for a swim.
We've actually wandered away from Bamburgh Castle and towards the other end of the beach because there is somewhere to go wild swimming down here in the rocks, but it's completely in shadow. All the rock pools are frozen around here, so we are thinking it might be nicer just to go in the sea. So maybe we'll head back to the beach, back to the sun.
It might look sunny, but it's frozen. The ground underneath me is actually frozen. The sand doesn't move.
Oh, this is cold. Oh. I'm trying to stay in for a bit longer because we keep doing these quite short dips. Oh, what a beautiful setting. It's cold though. Oh, wait. Right, I think that's me. That is unbelievably cold.
That does feel good. I feel like completely refreshed and reset. I was in a bit of a funk before, and now I feel like I'm a new person. Woo!
You do never regret a swim, but that was an incredibly cold one. Whoa.
I've been looking forward to this feeling after the swim all day though, and it feels great, and I can't stop laughing. I've got like laughing fits.
I would love to go warm up with some chips.
Yeah.
So our next mission is to find a chippy.
Let's find fish and chips. It's like we're on holiday.
Like we're on holiday, isn't it?
And as you can see, this road trip takes you right past the castle, right along the beaches. Really scenic route. What better way to warm up after a swim, have a brisk 15-minute walk and a hot fish and chip. Neptune Fish Restaurant. These look like...
Oh yeah.
Oh, these look like really good chips. They were so generous. £3 for that. Bargain, mate. Well, that was such a good day. Just tops it off with this. It's another very sweet little fishing village. Today's one of those lovely days where it feels like it's almost never ending. We keep doing different activities, going to visit different places, and the sun's still out, which is really good because the last couple of days before I felt so short, just with us having to get into the van at like 5 o'clock, it being dark. But I think today, because we got up extra early and saw those beautiful sunrise colours and driven over that causeway, it feels good. It's been a really, really lovely day. This is my favourite day so far on the Northumberland 250. And it's not over yet.
As nice as it is sitting here on the beach underneath the ruins of this castle, we only paid for an hour of parking, so we need to head back to the car and then find somewhere to park up for the night. The sun is setting and we've arrived at where we're going to stay tonight. It's just outside Alnwick, and this is Alnwick Castle behind us. What an amazing view of the castle. Believe it or not, some people have in the past said that I'm a bit of a nerd, but I'm hoping that I can prove them wrong with my fancy get-up tonight. I got my high vis, got my head torch, and we're off to go find a beer. We went to the Dirty Bottles. So legend has it that the landlord of this pub was opening bottles when he suddenly dropped dead. His wife at the time proclaimed those bottles cursed, and they locked them up in the window, and here they are, and they've been stuck in this window untouched since 1725.
So it's to protect anyone else from being cursed from these bottles.
Oh, high vis is back on.
Yeah, rough and high vis. Apparently, strange happenings have occurred since then.
Today is our final day of Northumberland 250, but van life is sort of getting in the way this morning. We've got some issues. The door won't open.
When we got back from the pub last night, we tried to unlock the door to go out, but we couldn't.
I've managed to open the door and close it, but the same issue's happening over again. I think there's a problem with a piece of metal inside the lock, which is bent. Apparently it's quite an easy fix. You can just bend that bit of metal back into place. But in order to do that, I need to take the lock out of the door. So I've ordered a ratchet set so I can do that, to an Amazon locker. The next job I had was to try and fix the sink, because our sink isn't working, and I checked the fuses and they all look good. So then I went to the switch under the sink and I did a bit of pirate science, got a knife, get some sparks, but also the sink now works. So it's not a fuse issue, it's actually the switch which is the problem. So I've also ordered some 12-volt switches. Don't test wires with knives at home. Today has been a little bit of a funny day. We've had lots of odd jobs to do. We've put all of that aside and we're going out for a walk. We've come to Simonside. The entire path is just like a big frozen river and it's really slippery and icy. It's a really nice, short yet pretty steep climb, but once you get up here it's definitely worth it for the views. We are arriving back at the car park now. We've decided a Sunday roast might be on order, so we're going to be heading to hopefully meet up with one of my friends. I have a friend from here in Northumberland who I haven't seen since university, and I actually lived with him in university for 2 years, so it'll be really good to catch up with him. Hey mate, we're here. Oh, ideal. Alright, cool, we'll just head in.
Good morning from exactly where we left you last time, at the Bay Horse Inn. It's a really nice pub actually, and we spent the night in there with Tom's friend James. We had a great catch up with him. It was really nice to meet him. We slept in the car park after a couple of pints. Well, there you have it. We finished the Northumberland 250. That was brilliant. Really unexpected variety of different landscapes we got to see.
It really exceeded my expectations. I didn't know what I was expecting, but whatever it was, this is better.
I recommend doing it in the winter because it was really lovely with all the snow.
Honestly, I can't think of a better time to do it. Like with the icicles everywhere in the forest, you have the snowy hills, and even the frosty beach. We had that nice crisp winter sunlight everywhere. The whole county was golden for pretty much our entire stay.
All the winter walks. Highly recommend. Add it to your list for your next UK road trip.
If I was going to make one improvement, I'd get some road signs up there, I think. I loved it in Ireland, following the little squiggly signposts, and it would have been great to do something similar here.
One more thing I'd say, if we do differently, is we'd have more time to do it. I think 4 days was a little bit of a push, too quick.
Either that or reduce your itinerary. Just visit a bit less stuff and visit them more thoroughly. We were whizzing around seeing everything. You just get a bit excited. It's just been absolutely epic. I've loved it.
Yeah, it's been really great. Stick around for next week. We're still heading north.
And mental ordeals that normally involve difficult situations. Let's just go ice skating.
Woo! Don't know what I'm saying, and I can't speak to the camera today. I'm a loser.
You've got so much energy. You don't have to do it. Your breathing goes weird.
We are taking these immediately off before we walk in these doors of that pub, so we're not making any friends tonight. Wait, we're under that.
I think we are
No.
I think we're right.
No. Oh, it's really snowy. Because there was always like, woohoo, nearly lurched off the road. You can't admit that's not funny. We watched a video, we learned a really goofy way of doing your camera bag.
Not making it into the video. too goofy.
Let's see. Ah! That's so handy actually.